Employment and unemployment and underemployment in India. Every year during the monsoon month of Shravan, July, August, tens of millions of young men and women called converters, named after a converter, a bamboo pole, walk long distances, or often over weeks, carrying 2 covered pots of water from the river Ganga or one of its tributaries strung along the 2 ends of a pole. These pots of water are taken to temples dedicated to Shiva across the country. One estimate places the number of converters who congregate at Haridwar at over 15 million, making it India's largest annual religious gathering. Many of those who walk for hundreds of kilometers, depending on the generosity of others for food and shelter during those weeks, are unemployed or do not have regular jobs. Desperate search for jobs. In March 2018, Mumbai's suburban railway network, which carries over 7.5 million passengers daily, making it one of the world's biggest and certainly most crowded networks of its kind, was paralyzed for 2 consecutive days. What happened? At around 3,000 apprentices who were protesting against the non-confirmation of their positions had blocked the railway tracks. They claimed that despite many assurances given to them over a period of 4 years, their future was uncertain. The blockade was called off after the intervention of Union Railways Minister Piyush Goyal. The Indian Railways, one of the world's largest, is the country's biggest employer with 1.3 million employees. In January, tens of thousands of vacancies were announced, including for posts of engine drivers, technicians, carpenters, welders, track inspectors, switchers, cabin staff, porters, and other personnel responsible for improving the safety of and protection of millions of passengers. It was announced that nearly 1 lakh vacancies would be filled up. The number of applications received by the railways was overwhelming, almost 250 times the number of jobs on offer. Many applicants were clearly overqualified. Those with PhD degrees had applied for jobs of semi-skilled technicians. At 25 million, the number of applicants was more than the population of Australia. In February, the Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission sought to fill vacancies for approximately 9,500 positions of typists, stenographers, and village administrative officers. Nearly 2 million individuals applied for these jobs in the state government, and over 1.5 million appeared for the examination that was conducted. Among them were almost 1,992 to be precise. Doctorates, 23,000 held MPhil degrees, around 250,000 were postgraduates, and roughly 8 lakh applicants had completed their graduation. The required qualification for most of the jobs advertised was that the applicant should have successfully completed his or her class 10 examination. These examples portray the pathetic state of employment in a country that stands at a unique juncture in its history. For the first time, at around half the population of India, or approximately 650 million, is below or at around the median ages of 25 and 26. Within a decade or whereabouts, within a decade or thereabouts, India will be overtaking China as the most populous country on the planet. There is no doubt of our collective inability to provide in enough decent jobs to the youth is one of the biggest, arguably the biggest challenges confronting this nation state. The dismal employment scenario. Economists and policymakers quibble about the number of jobs created, the quantum of jobs lost, and argue about whether or not more Indians are currently self-employed than before. The facts are fuzzy and statistics are interpreted to suit an individual's personal political predilections. The data is often sketchy, inadequate, and dated. Nevertheless, the big picture that emerges about the employment scenario is a rather dismal one. Although spokesperson of the Narendra Modi government, including the Prime Minister himself, has been claiming that government's track record in job creation over the past 4 years has not been all that bad, there is growing evidence to the contrary. There is considerable data that go beyond anecdotal observations which clearly indicate that instead of creating new employment opportunities, there has been job losses. Tens of thousands of jobs have been lost in every sectors and industry segments that had been until recently the biggest creator of jobs. Sectors such as computer software, information technology and enabled services, and telecommunications.